Hi, I'm Helen Young and I'm going to be your baby massage instructor for today. In our room you'll see that all parents have got a yoga mat for parents to sit comfortably on. We also have mats for our babies, and hopefully you've brought with you a towel from home. That'll just help the smell, help the babies feel familiar with the surroundings, and ultimately hopefully help them and you to feel more relaxed during the session. If you don't have one, that's okay, we can provide them for you. Now, hopefully you will have already used some of our oil that's in the centre, our sunflower oil, and done a patch test on yourself and your baby. On yourself, I'd like you to do it just behind your ear to make sure there's no reactions, and then once you're happy that you've got no allergies, I'd like you to do the same just behind your baby's ear here, just in a small space, just to make sure there is no allergies. Any concerns regarding baby's medical needs or health concerns, please contact your medical professional. Otherwise, when you've completed your questionnaire, you've said that there are no health concerns, so we can proceed with the massage. When you are doing baby massage, our main rule is that it is baby led. So if baby is showing signs that they're not enjoying their massage, i.e. they are not making eye contact, they're restless, they're fussing, crying, then we're going to stop our massage. Equally, if babies become drowsy or fall asleep, which may happen if they are super relaxed, and we're also going to stop the massage too, because a sleeping baby can't tell us whether they're enjoying it or not. When we are massaging, we need to think about what we're wearing ourselves. We're going to make sure we've got no dangly jewellery on so it doesn't get in baby's face. Our hair is tied back, and also just be mindful there's no rings on, and that our nails, if we do have nice long nails, are we're just being mindful when we're massaging near to babies' faces and into the creases of our babies. Our babies are going to be in a nappy only. We may pull our nappy down slightly, but we are going to avoid this V area here throughout all massage. There are other key cautions throughout the massages, which I will explain when we come to each of the techniques and each of the areas, so that they're fresh in our mind. Now, 80% of our massage strokes is going to be communication. So I want you to be checking in with babies throughout the session, looking at them, making sure they are looking up at you, lots of eye contact, lots of positive baby facial expressions, so they're staring back at you, maybe smiling, they might be making nice little cooing noises. Their movements are quite fluid. Any fast jittery movements or fussing, agitated babies, or them not wanting to look around near you, then we are going to stop the massage, because again, that is the baby's communicating with us that they'd like it to end. Okay, so stroke pressure just before we start is a very key question when we're starting our baby massage. How hard is the stroke pressure, and how should we press with our fingers? Now, if you were to run your fingers across your eyelid nice and smoothly, it shouldn't hurt you at all. That is the kind of pressure that we want to be using when we're using our strokes on our baby. So it's a soft stroke, it's not hard at all. Okay, so we are going to start our sequence on our face today, and the reason we're going to do that is because we're not going to use any oil on the face. And with our face strokes, there are a number of benefits. The main one being that it helps to stimulate our sinuses, on our baby's sinuses. That helps our babies to relax, and it also helps alleviate some of the symptoms of cold. So it is one that parents will find particularly useful. Babies don't often like this part of the massage, as it can stimulate some of the rooting reflexes, and having people's hands up in your face can be a little bit uncomfortable. So when we're doing it, we're going to make sure we try to keep their eyes as open and clear from fingers as possible. So again, lots of eye contact and communicating with our babies throughout. Now we're going to start our facial our face and head massage by doing the hilltop stroke. And our hilltop stroke starts at the centre of our forehead on our babies, and it sweeps out over our eyebrows. It then goes slightly higher to a slightly higher hilltop and sweeps out over the top, and finally one more and an even bigger hilltop to the top of our baby's forehead and stopping in the baby's temples. Now I'm going to keep your babies lying on the floor, but I'm going to pick my baby up so that you can quite clearly see how we perform that stroke on our babies. And we're going to repeat this 3 times, so demonstrating one more time. Starting in the centre of the forehead, sweeping up over our baby's eyebrows, stopping in the temples, and again up slightly higher this time, so the centre of the forehead and down to our temples. And finally up high, over the tops and down to our temples. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. Okay, so checking in with our babies, lots of smiley faces, sweeping up over the small hilltop, then the next hilltop, and finally the higher hilltop. And hopefully our babies will be displaying lots of positive engagement cues to you, so we can continue with our massage. Okay, now the next one is a technique that lots of parents will find super useful, and it is called the sleep sweep. And again, we're going to repeat this exercise, this stroke 3 times. So the sleep sweep starts at the top of our forehead, in between the eyebrows, and sweeps down to the tip of our nose. In between the eyebrows and sweeps down to the tip of our nose. And we're going to just use our index finger to do that, and we're going to do it 3 times. We might go twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Lots of smiles, lots of looking in our babies, making sure they feel super safe and super relaxed with their caregivers. Okay, the next one is called say cheese. Now this could stimulate our baby's rooting reflex, because we are going to be sweeping across the top of the mouth and under the cheekbones, and under the mouth, across the chin and up to the cheekbones. We are making a nice big happy face. Okay, when we're pressing around our baby's mouth, that might stimulate them to move their heads from side to side. This is a positive engagement in this particular area. But again, just read your baby and make sure that they are happy with you doing this. So big smiley faces, you can show our babies what it is that is about to happen. Over the top of your lip, say cheese, and under, say cheese. And we're going to repeat that 3 times. Pick my baby up, keep yours on the floor so that you can repeat this, but if you want a clearer look, we're going to sweep up and under our baby's lips, across the chins and up to the cheekbones, say cheese, up and up, say cheese. And that is our say cheese stroke. Now we are going to move on to the cheek sweep, and that goes from our nose to our cheeks, and we're going to sweep like this, cheek sweep. So we're starting in the centre, just at the top of our noses, sweeping down either side of the nostril and stopping at the edge of our cheekbones. Going under the cheekbones and sweeping round, cheek sweep. And again, repeating that 3 times. Now the next stroke again is called the love heart, and we are going to start that just at the tops of our baby's ears, again with our index fingers on each hand, and we're going to sweep around the backs of our baby's ears and finish underneath the chin. Let me pick our baby up to demonstrate. So again, keep yours lying down where they're in a nice relaxed position, starting above their ears, sweeping round the backs and underneath their chins and stopping in the middle. Sweeping round and underneath the chin in the middle. Okay, now the next one is going to use one of our nursery rhymes, and this is the last stroke in this sequence of our head and our face. And we're going to do incy wincy spiders up our baby's shoulders and up to the back of their necks. So incy wincy spiders, let me show you. So we're going up and to the back of our baby's neck, and then we're going to swoosh down. Okay, once we've swooshed down, we're going to sweep back up across the tops of the shoulders and back to that point just behind the baby's ears at the tip of their neck, where their neck and their head meet. And then finally we're going to incy wincy all the way back down again. Okay, so if you know the nursery rhyme, you can join in. So we incy wincy up, we go incy wincy spider climbed up the water spout, down and sweep, down came the rain and washed poor incy out. Again, we're going to sweep, but we're going up this time. Up came the sun and dried out all the rain, keeping our fingers just below where our neck and our head meet, behind the ears. Incy wincy spider, tickling down, went down the spout again. And that is our head and our face sequence complete. Okay, we are now going to move on to our tummy sequence. Now, tummy sequences, we're going to use our oil for this. So before we start, we're going to rub our hands over the baby, and again just say, we're going to do some nice massage, baby. I hope you're going to enjoy it with me, and hopefully as the weeks progress, the babies will get used to this cue and they will be excited for the massage to begin. Okay, we've got our oil ready on our hands, and we are going to start with some still touch. Now, if a baby does become restless throughout the sessions and they're fussing and they're not seeming to engage, they're not getting any positive engagement cues, then still touch is a nice place to start. It can just calm our babies and then they might re-engage with the massage. Sometimes even the still touch is too much, so we can take our hands off our babies and just talk to them, lots of positive reinforcement. And then again, sometimes that isn't enough either and we need to pick our babies up. So that is absolutely fine for parents and carers to do that throughout the session. But obviously I will be reminding everybody of that as we go. So our tummy sequence is incredibly good for helping our digestive system. It alleviates wind and constipation, so it's incredibly beneficial to babies. When we're working with our tummy, some key cautions are that you make sure we're working in a clockwise direction, which works in line with our digestive system. We always avoid our rib cage. We never put any pressure on the rib cage, so we're working below that. And also when we're moving across the bladder, we need to make sure we lighten any pressure with our fingers over that area. So we're going to start with our still touch. And we are going to move on to our first sequence, which is going to be the tummy snug. Now, our tummy snug is going to start with our hands just around our baby's waist and just above the hips, cradling our babies, and our thumb is going to start underneath the belly button, just above our nappy line, and we're going to sweep up like this, and we're going to repeat that 5 times. We're going to sweep up and sweep up, making sure our fingers around the back, cradling our baby's waists and hips, just like so. And repeat that 5 times. Now we're going to do tummy time, and we're going to use our middle 3 fingers, checking in with our babies, showing them what we're going to do, using our middle 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to place them on our baby's belly, and we're going to move them in a circular motion, always in a clockwise direction, and avoiding that rib cage and lightening the pressure over our baby's bladder. So moving around, avoiding that rib cage, round in the circular direction, lighten our pressure over the bladder, and around, and again we're going to repeat that 5 times. Again, checking in with baby, lots of smiley faces. We can do hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock struck 1, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock, tick tock, and lots of happy smiling faces, and hopefully our babies will be engaged with our massage. Okay, the next one is flower power, and it's going to use that same circular clockwise motion, but this time instead of doing one sweep in a clockwise direction, we're going to turn our fingers in lots of little circles like the petals of a flower all the way around the belly button. Okay, and once again we will repeat this 5 times. So we're going round and round the garden like a teddy bear, 1 step, 2 step, a tickly under there, and keep going and repeat that 5 times, again avoiding that rib cage area and lightening our pressure over the bladder, working in a clockwise direction. Okay, in between our strokes, our parents can be encouraged to use still touch and check in with our babies throughout. We are now going to move on to our rainbow, and this stroke uses our 3 middle fingers, our fingertips, and we're going to sweep from our right hip, our baby's right hip, over the belly button and down to the left hip. Starting at the right and sweeping over the belly button in a rainbow, and we can sing the rainbow song. Red and yellow and pink and green, orange and purple and blue. I can sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow, sing a rainbow too. Okay, and then finally we are moving on to our final 2 in this sequence, and that is our tummy tuck. Now when we are doing our tummy tuck, we're going to come down to our baby's ankles. We're going to support the baby's legs with our fingers just behind our ankle and at the end of our calf, like so. We're going to push our baby's legs up so that their knees bend and they move their knees in towards their tummy. Now each baby will have their own natural resistance to this, and so we aren't going to push their stretch any further than it is natural for the babies to do, and every baby will be individual, so we don't want to overdo that. This is a nice relaxing baby massage class. We're going to push them in. As soon as you feel that pressure resisting, and then we're going to bounce our baby's legs back out. Okay, we're going to support in our ankles and our legs, moving in, 1, 2, 3, and bounce back out. And we're going to repeat that 5 times, moving in, 1, 2, 3, and bouncing back out. In, 1, 2, 3, and bounce back out. And the final one, in, 1, 2, 3, and bounce back out. And we can count to our babies again, all that communication, all that eye contact, looking over them to make sure that they're enjoying our session so far. Okay, and the final one that we are going to do is the caterpillar walk, and that uses all of our fingers, and we're going to go again from our babies right across to their left. So we start on here and we go all the way across, and we start and we go all the way across. Always looking down at our babies and making sure we don't want to be tickling them, we want them to be feeling nice and relaxed at this point. Okay, so that is our tummy sequence. And the final sequence we're going to look at today is our back sequence. Now, the back sequence is incredibly relaxing. It helps our babies with their posture, and it can also be performed in multiple different positions, which makes it particularly good for babies who maybe aren't enjoying being on the floor and want to be held. It can also help with their circulation. However, so a key point to avoid when we are doing our back sequence is our baby's spine. We want to avoid this at all costs, and our strokes need to be firm so as not to tickle, but again making sure our pressure isn't too hard on our babies. Same again with our pressure across our eyelids is a good one to help us to remember. Okay, so babies can be lying on their front in this position if they are relaxed and happy with that position. Babies can also be held facing into parents, and you would perform our massage techniques with one hand, and I will show you the variation for that. It can also be performed on on babies who are able to support themselves sitting up, or again you can support babies to sit up and perform the massage with one hand. So I will show you 2 variations, the one-handed method and with 2 hands. Okay, so my baby is going to lie down on its front, and then I will show you the held or seated position in a second. So our first stroke is called M is for mummy, and we're going to make the M shape on our baby's back. We're going to start just above the bottom, and we're going to go all the way up either side of the spine, sweeping round the shoulders and all the way back down to the beginning. And we're going up either side of the spine, sweeping back down and stopping just above their bottom. And we're going to do that 3 times. Go up and over at the shoulders, sweeping down that side. Okay, now if you were holding your baby and you needed to do this with one hand, you could do that starting just above the bottom, and you'd sweep up and go down to the other side, and then you would repeat the same on the other side, making sure to avoid that spine as you do it. And again, repeat that 3 times, but on each side. Okay, so the next one in this sequence is called our wiggly worm. And our wiggly worm is going to go either side of our baby's spine, and we're just going to swiggle our fingers down the sides of our baby's spine. Okay, doesn't matter which direction you perform this in, but again we're going to repeat it 3 times. Now if your baby is sitting or being held, you can do this again with one hand, do it one side and then again on the other, but just make sure to repeat it 3 times this side and 3 times that side. Okay, and the next one in our sequence is our daisy chain, and this is a similar. You're going to start just above our baby's bottom, and we're going to do little circles with our 2 fingers all the way around until we get to the shoulders, and then we're going to sweep back down to the beginning again, round in little circles until we get to the top and sweep back down, and again 3 times that we repeat that sequence. Now when our babies are facing forward, it's obviously much harder to maintain eye contact, so being above your baby can help. Checking in with them on the side, you will find that they'll tend to turn their head to the side, but also coming up, picking them up and having a little look at the faces. You can hear the noises they're making, and you should be able to see some of these body positions. Their arms should be nice and relaxed, and so should their legs. Okay, then the final one we're going to look at is our finger rake, and we are going to rake down our babies like this with our fingers all spread out, and we go down here, talking to babies all the time. This might encourage them to pull their heads up, which was fantastic and really good for the baby's core, and also it allows you to check in with baby to make sure they are okay. Okay then, and that is my sequence. We would then finish with the cover of love, where we are talking to our babies. It's a big nice stretch. We can go from our heads all the way down to our toes, telling our babies how much we love them, how proud we are of them for their lovely massage. And we can do that again mainly onto their front, looking at them round the backs of the heads, all the way down their arms, looking, saying thank you very much for our lovely massage, and I'm looking forward to doing it again with you very soon. All that positive reinforcement, building those attachment bonds with our babies, and hopefully at the end of the session also being able to communicate with some of the other parents to build some friendships as well. Thank you.